Hi fellow traders, this is 30 minutes in London session today, and I'm making this video to give you an update about Euro USD. Like I said in my previous analysis, Euro USD came down, hit our 50% level, and we made profit in the sell position. It hit not only 50% level but even 61.8% was hit, and then market turned to the upside. So the long-term view which I had explained already is still there on the table. There's A, B, C and D at 1281 is going to be completed. This A, B, C, D has the same target. So now we have to determine or find out how to enter. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, you can see a very nice looking pattern that is called morning star. If we look at this bearish candle, this is a small hammer kind of candle, or you can say dozy kind of candle, and this bigger bullish candle. This bigger bullish candle itself alone is an engulfing candle, and if we combine this with previous two candles, then these three candles make morning star. And better look at morning star. The minimum criteria for forming a morning star is closing of last candle beyond the midpoint of the first candle. So it's not only beyond the midpoint, it's already closed above the opening price of the first candle. So this is very nice candle pattern. But am I entering buy right now? No. If we look at the price movement of London session, it's looking bullish. The candle made prior to the open of London session, this is called European session, pre-European session. So this was bullish candle. This is looking like a bullish candle. Still the price is above the opening price, but I am not going to enter buy, and I'll explain why and what's my plan. So I'm not entering buy. It doesn't mean that the long-term ABCDs are not on the table. They are still going to take place, but the style of entry will be different. As long as price stays above this line, you see this is the blue line. This is MACD predictor, Di Napoli MACD predictor. So price on the daily, I consider this MACD predictor only on daily time frame, neither on 1 hour nor on 4 hour, not even on any bigger time frame. If we so the price closed above this or stays above this means it is in uptrend. So of course it is in uptrend, but we are not entering. So we just have to wait for further confirmation. So let me delete this and let me explain what is further confirmation and how should we enter buy position. If we think of retracement against this leg, it has almost taken place very well, 50%, 61.8%. Price shouldn't go below 61.8% if it really intends to go up. Otherwise, if it goes down, then I believe that this price action is really sluggish, or maybe not strong enough to further upward continuation. But if we look at the bigger picture, this entire recent ABCD, this ABCD from this A, B, C and D, this entire ABCD is a single leg on weekly time frame, and deeper retracement on weekly time frame will still be possible, and price may further come to the downside to 1110 area, and still it will be considered strong enough to continue upward continuation, continue to the upside, because 50% is acceptable retracement level on Euro USD. So if we look at the weekly time frame, the recent ABCD will be a single leg from this to this point, and the 50% of this recent ABCD is 1110 area. So just let me right click it and make it visible on daily time frame, and then we'll discuss how to enter. So visibility is set to D1. Okay, let's go back to daily now. not only visible on daily, let me make it visible on 1 hour as well, because I'll need it on 1 hour. Alright, so going back to the 1 hour, and I show you what's gonna happen, or what probably can happen, not necessarily it will happen. So this against the retracements, major retracements have completed against this single leg. So let me delete this. It doesn't need to be here, right? So this is the level. So price can make another small ABCD kind of pattern, like A, B, C, D retracement, and this is, and it can go. It's not necessary that price will start moving right to downside right from here. Maybe it will touch 50%. 50% is favorite retracement level of Euro USD. So it may go to the upside, touch this 1182, this line, and then may come down to this line, 1110. This is a probable scenario. And if you look at the sluggish action of price, even if we go and touch this 1182 area, the relative strength index will not be showing any sign of a uptrend, immediate uptrend. What I'm trying to tell can be explained if I plot RSI and show you my style of determining the strength. Relative strength index. Okay, it has been plotted, and when I plot this on 1 hour time frame, I do not use this for determining overbought or oversold. Rather, I use it for determining strength, as simple as its name. So I'll change this period to 24. So I'll determine strength as per what happened in last 24 hours. That's why I put this 24. Then I'll put a horizontal line in mid of this RSI with the value 50. Yep. So if RSI goes to upside and crosses above this 50 line with a faster speed, then it is a sign of beginning of an uptrend. Just like you can see here, price crossed above, tried to go down, again touched above, again. So it finally crossed this 50 line. So this is a kind of behavior of RSI in line with price. And here, if sluggish action will continue and very gradually, like maybe in next 5-6 hours, 8 hours, if it gradually go here, then RSI will still stay around 50. For example, look at the previous. Here RSI almost touched 50 but didn't cross it. So this sluggish action can take it to this 1182 and further fall to 50%. And this will make a downward ABCD 61.8%. You see this? Maybe here it will come. And this 61.8% is 1115, and the 50% of weekly time frame leg is 1110. So it will come somewhere here, or maybe here, who knows. But this is the area where we will be further looking at this 1115, 1110, and we will be looking at the price action, what happens here. That's why I'm not entering buy position right now, despite we have a good looking morning star as well as a single engulfing candle. I'm not entering buy position. I'll further look for development. If it doesn't make any downward continuation further, and if it keeps going up, and if it further accelerates, then how will we enter buy? Then we will be looking for closure of 1 4-hour candle pattern, which will close above this 1182 area, this 50% area. Maybe we will miss some pips. Maybe the 4-hour candle will close not at 1182 or not very near. Maybe it will close at 1190, maybe at 1200. But even if it closes at 1200, but it will give us a very strong confirmation that that the trend to the upside has already started, and no further downward continuation or no further downward retracement will take place. Let's enter the buy. So we can enter buy at 1200. It will still give us a nice risk reward if we'll enter at 1200, let's say. So let's measure the stop loss from 1200 to below this this previous low. So we have to risk 75.7 pips, roughly 76 or 77 pips. and from 1200 our target is 1280, as I have shown on daily time frame, 1281, 1284. Those are the two targets of two ABCDs. All right, so we have 80 pips on the reward side, 76 pips on the risk side. Even if we enter the 1200, that's why we shouldn't hurry to enter the buy position. Wait for further development and see what happens. Either price come down here around this area, then return back. So we'll look for any candle pattern here on 1 hour. Probably no, not only on 1 hour. We will prefer to see a candle pattern on 4 hour, because 1 hour candle patterns are really not trustable, not very trustworthy, not reliable. They get erased easily by next movement. So we'll look for the candle pattern here. Then we will check what's going on the RSI. Not on 4 hour. Here RSI is different. You do not consider RSI. When I plot RSI 24 on 1 hour should be considered for crossover above 50, and candle pattern on 4 hour will be considered for determining if or not we have a bullish candle pattern. So that's all. Let's see what happens, and then we'll decide. If I enter the trade, then again I make a video and post it. So thank you for watching. Have a nice trading session ahead.